Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole. How are you this week? This week I want to talk about stress. What do I know about stress? Well, I've been stressed. I don't do stress now. I was stressed for many years, and I believe that's what took me over the edge to chronic disease. So the mental stresses that I had, my body just couldn't cope, body and mind couldn't cope with it anymore, and it struck me down, so to speak. So I don't do stress. And it took me quite a few years to work that out. In my first book here, I've got a story about how I used to get annoyed with the cushions getting thrown off the couch onto the floor. And it's the same old, it's the same old story. You keep doing the same thing, nothing's going to change. I stopped myself then because I was going on to the next story, and I thought, no, I've already said that I have to finish a sentence first before I move on. That's just the way my brain's wired. I get a little bit excited and I'm on to the next topic already. So until I stopped doing what I was doing, it made my life better. It made me more aware, and awareness is key. So this stress I talk about, it's something that doesn't leave your body if you keep repeating the same actions and the same thoughts in the same way you speak. So this simple little action of picking the cushions up off the floor and getting really angry and annoyed, that's negative emotional feelings that impact on your body. Okay, in that moment in time, I was angry and annoyed. And then what say I had a phone call that wasn't pleasant, and then that piled more on top of what I already had. And then something went wrong through the day, which no doubt it would have, the way I was feeling or thinking at that stage, then that would have compiled on top of it again. And then sure, at the end of the day, you air all your crap to everybody, and then you go to bed and you're saying, oh, what a crap day that was and whatever, but nothing's really left your body because the next day it may not have been the cushions on the couch or that phone call, but it might just be something really simple like you stub your toe or your kid forgets their lunchbox or and it's like instead of like going, oh, that hurt, or oh, they forgot their lunchbox, let me take little Jimmy's lunchbox to him, or oh well, they'll do without their lunch today, which is probably more me. You get really angry and frustrated and you do all the time and you're sort of highly strung. Have you ever heard that saying, highly strung? This is stress. If you don't know how to manage the tiny little things in your life, then how are you going to manage the bigger things? So, the cushions on the couch, the story in my first book, was the awareness that I needed to be able to manage the bigger things. And honestly, it works. Still, there's some big things that you takes your breath away for a tick, and then you take that deep breath and you go, oh, I know how to deal with this. And you've got ease and calm in your body. It's when you say that it's okay, but you know that it really hasn't left your body. And what hasn't left your body? The feeling. Like words words impact your body more than what you think. So even though you say, oh no, it's okay, but you still have the little pit in your stomach or your heart or wherever you feel all that stress in your shoulders, wherever it may be, headache. If that little feeling hasn't left your body, then what you've just said out loud is BS. Now, I know most of you know me. I don't do BS. Pretty adamant about that. So when the next little thing comes your way that's unpleasant and you go at it, that means that what you've just told me is BS. So let me put this in really simple terms, because I know sometimes I stop and stutter and lose my words like I do now. It's because I don't want to give away people's names or exact, you know, stories of others, which is why I try and focus only on me. And there's many of others. In my first book here, the meditation story was little bits and pieces because I didn't want to divulge the actual event, because people would know then who that was about. I'm not about that. I'm just about sharing what helps here. And stress is a huge killer in our society. So if you want to, I say eliminate, I can eliminate stress in my body. If you want to decrease the stress in your body, that is so doable if that's what you really want. And before you say, yeah, but Wendy, I have to work and I have these, time constrictions, or I have all this, my job's really important and I have this and that. That may be the case, but why do you have to do it under stress, constant stress? Like I said, you may have that through your day because you have certain time frames of getting work done, or yeah, well, that's basically it. Or, you have to see a client, you've only got a certain amount of time to be with them, so you have to be well prepared. Okay, so being prepared well can eliminate some of that stress. If you've been in a situation before, like I said, with the cushions on the couch, if something has happened to you before, like being unprepared and it's caused heightened stress in your body in that client meeting, so then you realize that, okay, so I don't get so much stress next time, well, then I will prepare that aspect of the work. And you don't know what you don't know. So you may have a day where you come across something that you didn't even foresee that it would happen. And it hits you smack in the face. To prevent you from being so stressed out about it, there's steps, simple steps. It's never easy. There's a simple process that I use that can assist you in that. It's called Mastering Stress. It's a 3-step process. I'll put the link to it in the show notes here. But to eliminate the stress out of your body is to eliminate stresses. And sometimes we can eliminate stresses. We can eliminate, some people that we come across in our lives that just do nothing but stress us out. The way that they look at things, or the way that they do things, the way that they act in with you, around you, it can be so, oh, would you just bugger off? So to avoid that circumstance, you avoid the stress that comes with it. If you get stressed at work, what little things can you implement to assist in alleviating some of that stress? Can you ask for help? That's one thing that many of us don't do. We don't ask for help. Or is it the way that you're thinking about it in the first place? Are you thinking that it's going to be hard, that your client's not going to like this, that, are you having all these preconceived ideas of how your day is going to go, because that actually adds stress on your body. Sure, it's okay to have an awareness, and this is very different to perceiving this is how it's going to be, or an awareness of what may happen. And this is all just in words, just changing the words, changing the phrases. And this is what I go through in my spring clean, your mind and body, in September this year, 2026, 1, 2, and 3. Words, phrases, they all impact on your mind and body. And this podcast is all about mind and body. Well, it's called chronic disease, but and beyond. It's all about mind and body. So what can you eliminate, or can you change in your day, excuse me, that will alleviate some of the stress that you're carrying? And sometimes the stress has been there for such a long time that you don't even realize that you are stressed until you can sit in silence with yourself and get that sense of calm and relax from your mind all the way down to your toes. Then you will know to what degree your body is stressed. Until you can do that, if you can't do that, then you've got some sort of stress going on in your body. How do I know this? Because I used to be like that. In my first book here, I have a story when I was going through something that I just couldn't face. Any time I thought about it, it would just create anxiety within me. And when I went and meditated, it just like basically shocked it all out of my system. And any thought that I had afterwards about that event or that person, people, it didn't affect my body one iota. And not too much does. Like, I know that I've said in recent podcasts that there's something that's going on with me at the moment. Yes, but in the general scope of life, not too much affects my body. If it does, I generally can, well, not generally, I can always stop it before it goes any further, just with what I shared today in my little program. Okay, so I do go into this more in my spring clean your mind and body in September, the event that I'm running, and I'll put all the links in the show notes here as well. So stress is a biggie in our everyday life. We always hear about it. This is the number one key to hearing about it all the time. Not good. We hear about it so much. We hear about lots of ailments that are bottom line caused from a stressed body. So if you want well-being in your world, in your mind and body, then we need to de-stress you. So click on the links in the show notes, and something there I know will assist you in achieving your stress less success. Till next week, I'll see you then. Bye.